Look at this boy. He's very much an ultramarine. But can I make him more ultramarine? Let's see if I can make him more ultramarine with this and with this, namely that. So here's the sprue. Now look, there's a big banner on there, but we don't want to give him that. I mean, if he is technically the ancient for the first company of the Ultramarines, he should really be using that banner, which is the banner of the first company of the Ultramarines. But the rest of him looks to be pretty straightforward. These upgrade sprues are pretty good. I actually bought it mostly for my Heresy Smurfs, but there's a lot of stuff on here that can go into this dude and make him more ultramarine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 40mm base with some cork on it, and I'm going to build the dude sans all of the stuff that's on the upgrade sprue and in the Victrix Honor Guard kit. And here he is, standing on the base. There'll need to be some more modifications made, but that's him minus the upgrade parts. Now, when you look at the sprue here that he came on, you get a choice of 2 arms, you get a helmeted head, you get 3 unhelmeted heads. 2 of them have got those weird chin strap beard type things on, which I can see where they're going with it, but not really a fan of them. It's also the side of his bolter, or storm bolter rather. I've left it off. I've left off his the shoulder pad with his chapter markings, and I've left off the tilt shield because all of those things are available on here. As you can see, there is the other half of a storm bolter that has a U on it. For the shoulder pads, I'm going to go the one with the scroll on it because it's closest to the actual mini itself. I mean, most of these parts are just ultramarine because they've got a U on it, but yeah, I still bought it, and I think this is a pretty cool kit. I love this head. I'm not going to use it on him, but I will probably use that on my Heresy Praetor. Oh, it's just so noble looking. I do love a noble looking ultramarine. There is also the tilt shield, again with a big U on it. Okay, I'm going to clean these up and start sticking them on. Okay, I'm using super glue because, knowing my luck, I'll have put something on in the wrong order, or I'll change my mind about something at some point down the road, and we'll end up wanting to shift stuff about, because I am indecisive like that. I find with like mechanical connections on plastic models, I think that the that super glue can create a better looking fit as well. Now when you see him from this angle, you know he's an ultramarine because you see U and the U. And from the front, he also needs a U, which he shall receive here, which also fits very nicely. I am really liking these pieces, actually. Now the head, look, he's got the little U on his forehead. Now, I'm going to want it facing that way, but I don't want to glue it in because I've got myself a nice little portable airbrush, so it's much easier for me to do sub-assemblies, which means I don't have to focus quite so much with my old shaky digits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little dab of black stuff. It's like black tack rather. Black tack, it's rather like blue tack, but it's tackier. It's like right up there on the tachometer And I'm going to place, for the sake of this video, his head in at that pose, and then when it comes to actually painting him, I can take it out and paint it white, and then it'll look really good without me having to get all fiddly with everything. Now, when it comes to the banner, you can see that there is a gap where his hand is supposed to go. See, just slot the fist in. God, I've never said that in this context. But yeah, slot the fist in, and that's how it sits. But that is not the banner we want to use. No, 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 no. This is the banner I want to use. The actual first company standard. And this is a massive banner. And my army now has 2 of them. So, what are we going to do? I need to remove that hand from there. It is a right hand, which works with the pose of the ancient in the Victrix kit, but it needs to go into his left hand, so it needs to be cut slightly bigger. What I'm concerned about is the connection point here. It's a very small connection point, but if I can cut right through it, and it's something that's... I've been very clumsy with blades recently, so this could be like a 15 rated video should my scalpel remove the end of my finger. I've lost the end of a finger before, and it's not pleasant. It wasn't a Warhammer related injury though. I was helping a friend, and that's what I get for doing a good turn. Lost the end of my finger in her freezer. It grew back okay though, so that was fine. It was a flesh wound. A nasty flesh wound, but a flesh wound nonetheless. Okay, so... Right, and now we need to get as under there as we can. And of course the camera doesn't seem to want to focus on it, so that's the joy. I'm not going to be as concerned about the focus at the moment, as my fingers are at risk. So I'm just gonna nibble away at it piecemeal, and we shall return once I've cleared it. Okay, so I made a mistake assembling this before carving out the part for the hand. So if you are going to copy me, and I don't know why you would, because I am always the example not to follow, then yeah, do it before you glue the whole banner together. Now, it's kind of fitting, but not fully fitting. So what I'm going to need to do, and this could get nice and bloody, so if that's your thing, stay tuned. If it's not, maybe look away. Why am I saying that? This is a video. I'm not going to show anything particularly graphic. Or am I? That's your thing. Just trying to get the lighting to look good. And this is going to be a case of scrape and fit, scrape and fit, scrape and fit until it fits. And that is very nearly fitting. Like so. Just have a look at the lower part. Yep, I do have my trusty sprue goo to hand for some filling, because when you are putting together 2 parts that aren't meant to go together, chances are you're going to have to do a lot of filling. Filing and filling. By the way, does anyone know why grape soda is not really a thing in the UK? There's like a couple of brands kicking about. I'm talking about like that really proper artificial grape hit. You know, the sort that tastes amazing, but also like it's never been near a real grape in its entire existence. That's the sort of grape soda I love. Okay, and from the side, that's looking alright. I'm going to take a little bit of the sprue goo. And some regular polystyrene cement on his fist. Right. And now, let's get this to work. I'll just bring in my light so you can see. Yes, I'm going to hold this until it doesn't fall off. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to switch off my camera at the moment because it's on battery backup. I shall try with my tongue. And success! There he is, holding the whole thing up. Now, for the base, the bottom of the banner, I mean, it looks cool that he's strong enough to hold up such a banner without resting it on something, but I think it needs something. So I've got a bit more cork. I'm thinking maybe breaking it up a little bit. Yeah. So, like that. So that's going to be sort of up at that angle, which looks a bit weird at the moment, but I'm going to pack it out a bit with other material. Yeah, so he's like standing on the side of a building that has collapsed. A little bit of overhang, doesn't really hurt anyone. Now, one of the cool things about cork is that it's incredibly absorbent, so it soaks up super glue like a sponge, giving you a firm surface to put paint on. I mean, there is the issue that if you don't seal it with something, I mean, sealing it with super glue is expensive, you know. I'm doing this because this is like quick and easy and like one character, but if you don't seal it, you might have trouble getting paint to initially stick to it. And look at that, you squish it down, then you let it spring back up and it sucks up all that super glue and it starts to go hard. Now, to carry on with the base, there is a distinct lack of bone on this model. Bone! So, let's get some bone going. Bone! I've got the Citadel Skulls kit here, and I'm going to grab the skull of a big grinning orc. And I think there. Let's grab another one. And we shall tuck it in. And from behind as well, I think you should have a little friend. Because my opponent may never see the backs of my Ultramarines, but that's all I'm looking at on my side of the table, and I just like to have something rather interesting to look at. Yeah. And now I'm just going to drop. But there it is, there's something interesting from behind. Here we are, and it's looking pretty cool. But it's just missing something. Something that should go around about here. Build up the armor just a little bit. It's not going to take a lot. Going back to this, to the actual original sprue, and we have here a nice little symbol that would look rather snazzy atop his armor. And I've just pricked my finger on it. Ain't that special? And I think the best thing to do will be to make use of the half slot that you can see. And I will give it some of the soups for a cleaner looking fit. Just making sure, yes, it is bi-directional, just like me. Ah ha ha. And there we are. Now, doesn't he look cooler? And so, here he is. Looking a lot more ultramarine-y. Hang on, I should move the head back that way. So, yes, he is the ancient of the Ultramarines First Company with the correct First Company banner. Well, that's all from me. I'm Autumn Witch, and I'll catch you next time on Bleeding Tree Gaming.